6 o'clock, and it is time for Jazz Cats. I am your host, Dawn Elizabeth. I hope everybody is doing excellent today. It's a little warm in the studio, but I'll get through it. Wow. Yeah, tonight, waiting on my guest, Nathan Mitchell, all the way from Tampa, Florida. I don't know if most of you went to the Najee concert at the Aretha a couple of weeks ago. And if you were there, you saw Nathan on the keys and vocals. So I'm looking forward to having him in studio with me this evening. Wow, it's just, summer is almost over. Summer is gone next week. So, had a great summer. Spent quite a bit of time working on my tan in the pool and on a couple of boats over the summer. So I can't complain. I had a pretty decent summer. Just getting ready for fall, and what's next. So I hope everybody's getting ready for old man winter. Let's see what's happening tonight. Wow, it's a lot of stuff going on. The usuals. Dirty Dog, Cliff Bells. I know at the Willis Show Bar, Ben Sharkey is there tonight, so I think I may swing by there and check out a couple of the musicians there tonight. But yeah, it's just a lot going on, and if you have shows coming up, find me on social media so I can help you, push and promote your show. That's what I'm all about. Just takes half a second to share, a flyer, for your upcoming shows and things like that. So hit me up. Most of you know where to find me. But yeah, everything is, it's going well. Feels great to be back in the studio behind the mic. So I'm working on a few things. I guess next week is going to be Armando Vega. We had to reschedule him maybe from about a month and a half or so ago. So he's going to be hanging in studio with me next week. So hopefully you can, tune in and, check that show out. But yeah, it's, things are, going well. I'm happy to see the music scene, is doing fairly well. I'm glad to see a lot of my musician friends back at work finally. A lot of them have had the opportunity to travel internationally, so I'm so happy to see that. And but yeah, it's I'm just a happy camper. I'm a happy artist manager and booking agent, member of the union, local 5 here in Detroit. So for me, my goal, even with the show and then outside of the show, is to kind of work with musicians to help them stay on the right track, because this is a pretty cutthroat business. And I've heard so many horror stories about so many musicians being taken advantage of, just by unscrupulous promoters, managers, etc. So my goal is to learn as much as I can from the union and to share with the artists who may not be in the union, and just to educate, because like I said, I've heard many horror stories about artists having to pay pretty much out of pocket for everything, and the person that they have representing them takes the money and they're gone. So that's of course not an acceptable way to run business, but I understand the business of music, and I'm learning every day. So if if you're a musician and you're not a part of the union, hit me up. I want to talk to you and find out why you're not a member, and what are some of the things that you want to see in the union that would make you join the union. So it's a great outlet and everything. It's a wonderful outlet, to help you out, in your career. So, sorry about that. I just got a phone call coming in, so I had to get away from it. So it just distracted me for a minute, but I'm back. Um, so yeah, so that's kind of what is going on in my world, on the music side of things, and it's like I said, it's great. I'm loving the commercials on the radio, with all the upcoming shows, and I know Stanley Clark, Norman Brown, and Marion Meadows, they're coming to the Fabulous Fisher on Saturday, October 2nd. So I am most definitely looking forward to that show, and gonna pop into Chicago to go check out an artist and everything. So so things are, think things are well in that regard. So yeah, so I'm just trying to pass some time here to see if my guest is coming. But if not, we'll keep it going. Somebody will pop into the studio to come and hang out with me today. So yeah, so for those who are tuned in, I really thank you and appreciate your support. I want to send a shout out to my girl Sharon Lane up in Lansing. She's actually one of my biggest supporters. Had the pleasure of meeting her several years ago. Of course, through music and the internet. How that kind of bridges the gap. With meeting people. So Sharon, if you are tuned in, thank you, and more thank you for for your continued support and sharing the posts when I'm on air. So I want to thank you, Sharon. And several other people. I know I saw some feedback a little earlier on social media, that there's a artist out of Tampa that is going to be tuned in. So Ebony, if you are watching, hey, how you doing? I look forward to having you on the show, and looking forward to meeting you when I make it back to the Tampa area, probably sometime next year. So and I also connected with a excuse me, a horn player out of Italy the other day, Nino. So I'm not sure if he's watching, because of the time difference. So I'm going to be looking forward to having him on the show soon. And it would be awesome to go to Italy to interview him, but that's not going to happen right now. Putting it in the universe that it will one day soon. Also, the bass player that plays with Gregory Porter, Jamal, I was fortunate enough to reach out to him on social media. So he asked, I did ask him if he would love to be on the show, and he said yes. So I will be following up with him and a few other artists. And if you guys out here in the radio world, and if you know of any artists that would love to be on the show, have them reach out to me. Jazz particularly, but if they're involved in the music business, they can be a venue owner. They could also be a booking agent, artist manager. I'm open, to talking to all of those people. So yeah, so if you happen to know of any musicians that would love to be on the show, have them reach out to me, especially the younger cats. That's kind of why I'm doing the show, is I want to be able to showcase the younger musicians. I had the pleasure of having Lance Denzel Gully on the show last week, and another one of my musical babies, and he kind of had disappeared off the face of the earth, And so I'm so happy that he's back making music. He's actually doing a concert next Saturday on the 25th over, I think it's in Avalon Village. I'll post the flyer again on my social media. So if you can, just come on out and support these young musicians. They're doing the right thing. Making a life and making a name for themselves. In the music business. They could be out selling drugs, stealing cars, doing things like that. But these young cats are putting it down. They're coming out with new music. When I had Alan Denard on the show before, he's going to be coming out with some new music next year. And I did hear a couple of the songs that he's going to have on his record. So, yeah, so when you can, just get out and support, these young musicians. These are some extremely talented and intellectual young people. And sometimes, us older folks, we don't give the younger ones, enough credit. So, they're out doing magnificent things. Trying to see if I can maybe, get Brandon Rose, bass player, to be on the show one day. So, I've adopted so many musical babies, it's not even funny, but, I love it. And, like I said, having the conversation with Lance, last week, I kind of had him laughing, because I told him, I was slightly intimidated to have a conversation with him. And he kind of gave me a puzzled look. And, but I was fine, after we dialogued and everything. I calmed down, because he's such an intellectual. And Lance, I'm not sure if you're listening, but I hope you called Ralph Armstrong. So yeah, so if you, like I said, if you know of any, young musicians, up and coming musicians, please direct them to me. I want to be able to give them a platform to, show the world what we have going on here in Detroit. So many of our Detroit artists, are playing with some of music's greatest musicians on the planet. Evan Garr, violinist, tours, with Stanley Clarke, and my boy LG sings background vocals, for Charlie Wilson, and sax appeal. I know he was on the tour before. So we've got our Detroit sweetheart Beth, who sometimes sings background vocals, with Kim, and she also has been kind of touring with Najee as well. So Detroit, we already know we have some of the best musicians in the world. And while they're here, let's give them their roses. Let's not wait until their body is cold, laying in a casket, and oh, I shoulda, woulda, wish I coulda kind of thing. Let's celebrate these musicians while they are here, 6 feet up and not 6 feet down. And let's celebrate them, and let's give them their roses, while they're here. So you are watching Jazz Cats on Wjzz Cool TV. You're watching it live, and it's streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and other top social media platforms. Like, follow, share, comment, and most importantly, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching Wjzz Cool TV Jazz Cats. I am your host, Dawn Elizabeth, and thank you so much for tuning in and giving me some of your time on a beautiful Thursday evening. So, I'm trying to, wait on Mr. Mitchell, before I kind of dive into, his extensive background. And I was just kind of looking at the number of records that he's put out, and it's amazing. He's a fantastic gentleman, wonderful, wonderful musician. Um, Never really knew he was a multi instrumentalist. I found that out. I think maybe watching a video or two on Facebook. Drums, bass, guitar. Who knows what else he plays. So hopefully he should be popping in fairly shortly to come in and knock this interview out of the park. Talk about what he's working on, and things like that. So yeah, there's a lot of things happening with WJZZ Cool TV. I was just talking to Roger before I came in the studio, and he was sharing with me, a lot of things that are, going to be happening, and looking forward to being a part of, the building of, the WJZZ Cool TV and WJZZ Radio platform, and it's just a lot happening. The music, JZZ was, known around the world. Pretty much, a lot of jazz artists, JZZ was kind of where some of their, music got played when they first came out. And, so trying to keep that, legacy going. And I'm, very thankful and grateful to, to be a part of it. Like I've said in previous interviews before, I never thought that I would be on the radio. It's still kind of surreal for me, and it's nice to have, people kind of pushing me and encouraging me to step out of my comfort zone to, pursue certain things. My mentor and my friend, Ralph Armstrong, he's been excellent in kind of mentoring me in the music business, and Gayleen McKinney for introducing me to the music business, because if it weren't for her, I wouldn't be, in the business as a licensed booking agent and an artist manager. So I am extremely thankful, to those two for seeing something in me that I didn't, see in myself to, to be, here where I am. And another person I have to give thanks to is my boy Mike Bonner, Mumford, alum. When he did his show on another station, he invited me to come and hang out, and made me put headphones on and get in front of the mic. And so he's another one that I must give tremendous thanks to, because I never thought that I would be doing radio. And it feels good to, just to be back in front of the mic. And this is a dream, that I never really knew that I had. So I'm making it work with, with what God has given me. And, and the reason I'm here, in this seat, Sky Covington kind of twisted my arm along with Roger, to, to have me in this, particular seat, because I am so involved in the music business, primarily the jazz side of the music business. So I am thankful, to those, who have, given me, an opportunity, and have given me a platform to, showcase musicians and artists that the public may not know. You may go to, like Baker's or something to, see a show, and there could be someone on the drums that you've never seen or heard before. So, my goal, is for you to get to know those people, when I either bring them into the studio or, share their, flyers for performances, on social media. It just takes a half a second to push the share button, on your phone to, to get the word out. And, it's, like I said, we're doing great things here, and I'm just, so happy and thankful to be a part of, great things to come. And right now, I'm gonna try to see if I can find some of Nathan's music to kind of play for just a moment, as I'm still waiting on him to arrive. So check this out. So yeah, so what you heard is just a quick sample of, just Nathan's, talent. That was the song "My Heart Is Yours" on his Soulmate album, and so like I said, he's a super talented, musician, and one moment he's calling me. Hello, yes sir.
Hey, hey, I messed up. I thought we were starting at 6:50.
No, that's the stopping time. We're
5. Yep, I messed up the time, and I was like, oh my god, and I saw it on Facebook. So, can we start? What can we do?
um, well,
Because I'm
depends on.
headed there now. That's what I'm saying. I'm headed there now. What
Okay.
can we do?
I mean, still, come. Like I said, we'll probably do a, a hard stop at maybe 6:55, because there's another show right behind me at 7.
Oh, okay, okay. All right. So I am on my way. Speed up, hold on. It's about. I'm like less than 10 minutes away.
Okay, see you when you get here.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
My apologies for the interruption. That was Nathan. Got the time wrong, but it's all good. We'll just keep on. We'll just keep on keeping on, and things happen. So we just gotta dust off and keep the show rolling. So hopefully he gets here. Maybe we'll have a good maybe 20-minute conversation, 25 at best. But life goes on. Can't be upset about that. So But yeah, we're gonna talk about it when he gets here. But he actually has a show tomorrow, Nathan L. Mitchell official at Cola Lounge on Northwestern Highway. So if you're not doing anything, come on through. Showtime is at 8 o'clock, and I'm sure it's gonna be fire. Because I've had the pleasure of working with Nathan, a few times in the past, and he brings the heat. We did a after party at Baker's Keyboard Lounge after their performance with Najee at the Aretha. No, Najee didn't come. He was invited, but he had other plans. But the band, Blair, DP, Nathan, and a couple of other cats, they came and showed out, like they do. And so it was a great time. Long night slash morning, but that's part of the territory, when you're in the business, as they like to say. So, so it was a great time, and looking forward to, excuse me, doing it again, soon, with some other visiting artists. So again, if you know of any musicians that are in town, for a show, and they want to do a after party, after party set at Baker's, have them hit me up, and we'll make it happen. If you don't know, Baker's is the oldest jazz club in the world, right on Livernois and 8 Mile. So if you've never been, you gotta go check them out, and support the business, and come and hear some great music. There's a young vocalist. Her name is Charde, Charde, and she's going to be performing on Sunday from 7 to 10 at Baker's. I've not heard her perform yet, but I'm looking forward to checking her out on Sunday. Thanks for the connection, Ray Page. Made the connection. So if any of you are on my social media pages, you've seen the beautiful flyer for her show on Sunday. So if you can, pop out and at least check out the first set and show her some love, as this is her first time performing at Baker's. So I'm looking forward to that. And so like I said, it's so much going on. Sky Covington and her band, they perform on Sundays, and we've got the powerhouse vocalist, Tasha Owens, she just burns the stage, everywhere she goes. So there is not a shortage of talent, in Detroit. So you can go anywhere on this planet, and when you tell people, you're from Detroit, some people, their eyes light up, and it's nothing like it. It's just a beautiful thing, and I'm happy to be a part of the music scene, here in the awesome city of in Detroit. Okay, well, Nathan Mitchell is on the way. So like I said, he got the time mixed up. So I'm not gonna beat him up too bad, but I'll make him pay for it though. But like, you are watching Wjzz Cool TV Jazz Cats. I am your host, Dawn Elizabeth, and some of you should probably be watching on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, or Facebook. And I appreciate you tuning in. So please share, subscribe, comment. That means a lot to me. When you share comments, positive or negative, I'm cool. I've got pretty thick skin, so there's not too much you can say to me that's gonna rile me up. So hopefully it's nice comments. But if not, life goes on. Like my mom used to say, it's like water rolling off a duck's back. Just keep it rolling. So I'm hoping everybody's Thursday is going well, and yeah, the weekend is here, and the last weekend of the summer. So hopefully you guys are gonna get out. I think there's something happening in Hart Plaza this weekend. I think it's Motor City Pride, I believe. I'm sure they'll correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, I think Pride is this weekend. If not, there's something. I think it's a cigar something or another I saw that's coming. Got de-electricity coming. I think it's next weekend. And excuse me. And if you've never been to the de-electricity event, it will really blow your mind. It takes place. I'm understanding it's taking place in two places. I think Beacon Park is going to have a setup, and then kind of in the Midtown area down by Wayne State. Wear your walking shoes because it's a lot of, walking, but it's a lot of awesome, sights to see. And the artist in me, or the creative side of me, I just, I love it because it's so different. To me, a lot of it is abstract. And some of them, I remember a few years back, I think they had a couple of bands playing, kind of around the area, and DJs. So it's something, it's a family-friendly event. So, get the kids out, layer up because it might be chilly, to come and check it out. Of course, it happens at night. But yeah, some of the sites are just phenomenal to see. And so looking forward to checking that out. Part of me, sometimes I wish I could clone myself, because there's just, so many things, and several of the artists that I work with, they're kind of all over the place, which I love, but it's just not enough, hours in the day for me to, to go and be everywhere. So when I do show up, I'm grateful to, to be there, to see the artists perform and everything. So, Ralph and his crew, they'll be at Baker's Friday and Saturday. And I think Gaylen, she's going to be with Straight Ahead tomorrow. I think they've got a show in Brighton, but she will be there on Saturday. So Perry Hughes, if you're listening, get your butt down there on Saturday to go see Gaylen perform. The Blue Llama up in Ann Arbor, GR Noir up in Grand Rapids. They've got some great musicians up there as well. So there are many places for you to choose from. You don't always have to kind of go to the same places. Cliff Bell, Noah Jackson, the curator over there. He's doing some spectacular things. And like I said, Ben Sharkey is at Willis Show Bar this evening, and so get a chance to check out that show. And if you've never been to Willis Show Bar, it is very, very, very nice. It kind of takes you back in time, with the decor and everything of the inside. So I just got a text, and Mr. Mitchell said he's pulling up. So if that's the case, he should be popping in the studio momentarily. So for those of you who are tuned in and have hung on with me for this time, for this length of time, without a guest, I truly appreciate you. You have no idea. It gets kind of lonely here in the studio by yourself, but it's all good. I can handle it. But yeah, it's it's part of the business. And you just the show must go on. So but it's it's fun. So let's see if he rolls in. Like I said, maybe we'll get a good 20-minute interview in with him. So I appreciate you hanging on and tuning in. And I make sure that I don't have a lot of dead air. So if I do stop talking, I've just, possibly have gotten distracted by something. So um, it's like I said, things happen, and you just have to keep it rolling. And the door is open.
How you doing?
I'm good, everybody. Nathan Mitchell's in the studio. Yay!
OMG. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you, darling?
Caught up in this Detroit traffic, trying to get here, rush here.
Mm-mm. It's all good. Welcome, welcome, and welcome. Great to see you.
Thank you for having me.
What's happening? Let's talk. What's going on with you?
Got a show tomorrow night.
Yeah.
The Cola Lounge.
Yeah, can't wait.
8 p. I think it was 8 p.m. show.
Yep, 8 p.m.
So,
yeah.
and just looking forward. I got some great guys playing with me.
Okay.
I'm just looking forward to I'm looking forward to just playing here in the D.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot. Cola Lounge is a very special place. I think the first time I was there was you. No, it was with Deborah. I think.
Yeah.
Deborah Holland.
Deborah. Yeah.
Deborah Holland.
Mm-hmm.
So I was on the way here and I was listening to you play some of my music.
Yes.
You played Smooth Groove.
Uh-huh.
Smooth Groove was created at Cola Lounge.
No way.
Yes.
Really? So what was that inspiration?
We needed another song.
Okay. Oh, kind of off the fly.
We were on stage and we needed another song.
Wow.
And I turned to Brandon Rose was playing bass for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, Brandon, play this bass line.
Mm-hmm.
And I played the bass line.
Mm-hmm.
And then I turned and said, Jason, kind of just said something.
Yeah.
Jason Grant.
Okay. Uh-huh.
And then I started playing, and we just kind of evolved. I made up a melody, and it worked.
Wow.
And then got home, got into the studio. Someone had a recording of it. I took the recording and just shaped it, and Smooth Groove is what we got out of it, which was one of the top 30. Was one of my top 30s. I actually made like number 15, I think, on the charts.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, because I was checking out the bio and looking at Apple and just like looking at the records. I'm like, this dude has been busy.
Yeah.
And then I was kind of checking the theme. It's kind of love and kind of romantic themes.
Love
to
languages.
The music. Yeah.
Love languages. I think that's probably one of my. I think that's probably one of my most inspirational projects. Very inspired because it was just around the whole theme. I'm kind of somewhat infatuated with the love languages, the different love languages, and all of that.
Okay.
Mine is personally is quality time and touch. So it was like, okay, how could I make songs, or how could I portray these love languages musically? Affirmation was kind of tough.
Was it? Okay.
Affirmation was kind of tough, and what's the other one? It's quality time, touch, affirmation, and I think it's gifts.
Okay.
Yeah, they were kind of tough hitting those two, but I mean, I think we pulled off a good job on the album.
No, I mean, I've checked them all out, and great work. What a lot of people may not know about you is you are a multi-instrumentalist.
Yes.
I never knew that because when we met, and I came to Tampa, I was hanging with my cousin Greg, and we were at the Fox.
The Fox. That's right.
And it was like after one of your shows that you did, and then you came over there, and got behind and then you start singing. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm like, I just thought he was a keyboardist. And then I saw you play drums.
Right.
Then I saw you grab a guitar, and I'm like, okay, what instrument can you not play?
Oh, I cannot play the violin. I sound horrible. If you want to hear what a cat sounds like screaming, just give me a violin and I can interpret it very well.
Got you. Okay, so I guess where did the love of music for you come from, and kind of what drove you to the music business?
My father, my dad, my mother. It's kind of wrapped up in all my family. My dad was a choir director, drummer, bass player, guitar player, and keyboardist. Really heavy on keyboard and bass, which was his primary. He was in quartet groups, which is really big down south. So, just one day I just kind of went for it. I mean, it started with pots and pans in the kitchen and just kind of evolved from there.
So now with the multi-instruments that you play, are you gifted to just pick up an instrument and play it, or have you had some lessons?
I would say I'm gifted. I tried the lessons one time, and I remember I was taking lessons for piano, and the music teacher, actually it was Whitney Houston's Greatest Love of All, and I played the song. I went listened to the song as record. They wanted me to read it, and I was like, this is boring. So I just went and learned the song.
Oh, wow.
So I went, learned the song, got in front of the music teacher. I flipped the pages according to the transitions of the song, even though I wasn't reading it. My mother was sitting there. She was very impressed with how I was flowing. And the music teacher literally allowed me to get to the end of the song and then turned to her and said, he did not read anything from this song.
Wow.
So she exposed me.
Okay.
But it sounded like the record. It sounded just like the record.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And, typically any of my guests, I ask them, if you told your parents, hey, I'm going to be a professional musician, and they tell you, no, you need to get a job, 9 to 5, work 30 years, get the watch. The guest I had last week, he said he told his parents, no, I'm going to be a musician. Me, if I were to have done that, if I were a musician, my dad probably would have knocked me out. So were your parents, I would imagine your parents were very encouraging, maybe?
They were encouraging to craft a gift, but more encouraging to finding a job status outside of the gift.
Right.
Because you got to think, I mean, the mindset that we were given was find a church to play for, and then have another job on top, which a lot, which I'm totally don't go against that, because even to this day I still play for a church, regardless of all the touring, and they work with me and all that, and very supportive. But that was the mindset. So when I first went to college, I actually went to college for a business administration degree.
Wow. Okay.
And of course that was a complete flop, because I didn't have no passion for the topic. So when I went back to school, and was like, listen, I want to go for a music degree, but I want to go back and earn it. And one of the things that I had to do, I felt was necessary, was walk into a school atmosphere, playing dumb, because of the level of my the level my gift was on. I was getting free rides on a lot of areas, especially in school. I was one of the kids that did not have to read it. All they did was point at me and say solo, or do this, play these chords, get in where I fit in. But they created a lot of potholes in my foundation as a result of that. So when I went to college, I actually started community college level. I did not tell them I played anything. So I went in there, played dumb. Oh, this is a key C chord. Oh, this is a C chord. Played it that way. It was like, oh, this is okay. And from there, from the JUCO, got my undergraduate, onto my graduate, and and now a lot of those holes are filled in. I mean, I don't know everything, but a lot of it's filled in now.
I mean, at least you stuck with it and everything. So kind of with you being a touring musician.
Yes.
How on earth do you handle, the graduate side of school?
It is a lot. But a lot of it is, it's online. So, and thankfully a lot of the touring does happen on the weekend. So, we have a week to really get all our studies together. I'm currently in a master's program with Berkeley for the music business.
Yes.
Or for a music business degree. And so it is a lot of focus. It takes a lot of balance. It takes a lot of time management. Because I have to budget in those assignments, and then I have to think about what I'm going to do for my show, and then of course I'm on the road with Najee and friends.
Yes.
I have to focus on Najee's show as well as the friends.
Exactly.
We've been incorporating new friends on some show.
I saw that. Yeah. When you guys were here in Detroit.
Yeah, and we play each other's music. So
Right. So the show tomorrow. What can everybody expect from that show? Because I've seen you perform several times. Looking forward to this, and I haven't been to Cola in a long time. So I'm looking forward to the show. So what can we expect?
Cola, all I can really say is don't miss it.
Okay.
Um, every time I've come to Detroit, it starts out one way and it ends another. Meaning that it evolves organically.
Okay.
And some of my greatest works that have hit these albums were birthed through my Detroit experiences.
Nice.
So chances are you might hear something that might literally happen on stage, and it might be the next thing that you hear on an album.
Okay. Oh, I love that. Yeah, so I'm gonna get there early.
Yeah. Oh, you have to be there.
I have to be there. If I
you help me promote the show.
If I'm not there, I gotta move to the move.
You have to be there
in like 2.2
That's
seconds.
Right.
And so no, I'm looking forward to it. Had a great time. At Baker's the after party.
Oh, that was awesome.
And so when I walk in, I'm like, Gerard's here. Demetrius Neighbors is here.
And what's funny is Gerard, he actually called me. He was like, "Listen, we need to take over Baker's tonight." I was like, I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, he's trying to do that tonight?
Yeah, he wants to do it tonight.
Oh.
But speaking of, Demetrius is playing with me though. Demetrius is on keyboards with me. Brent Easton, who is a drummer. He is the drummer for Ricky Dillard Gospel.
Wow,
Gospel sensation. Who do we have? Gary Johnson is on guitar.
Hey.
Gary Johnson is on guitar.
Yeah.
And we got Gerard on percussion.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. See, it's going to be a fantastic show. I'm gonna kill you because you're late.
Oh, it's all right.
I had a ton of questions.
I know.
But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lock him down, and we can do it remote next time.
We could, or
maybe when
I wish we could do. I really wish there was a way we could go live tomorrow.
I know.
That would be great. If there was a way we could go live from the show tomorrow, that would be awesome.
Other than Facebook Live,
Maybe.
But
let's think. But I mean, this show is Detroit is just a very special place. And Dawn, of course, you're like a very special person to me because she's been very. You've been a very pivotal. I think pivotal. That's the word. Person with my presence. With my presence in Detroit, which is definitely why I was like, we have to do something.
Right.
So, definitely forgive me for being late. Did not mean to.
No, things happen. It's all good. I'm just, glad you made it.
Oh yeah, I couldn't miss this.
And everything. Ebony from Tampa, from Florida, she was tuning in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great singer.
Yeah, I reached out to her a few months back, so I want to get her on the show.
Great singer.
And everything. So Ebony, if you're listening, I'm still coming for you.
That's right.
But yeah, I mean, this is some great talent in Tampa.
It is.
Because, the few times I had gone and hanging out at the Fox, I'm like,
yeah.
Because that's where I saw Kyle Schroeder for the first time.
Right.
And I'm like, so he's like traveling all over the place.
Yes. He does a lot of stuff with Ben Tankard. And honestly, Kyle has played a lot of the saxophone parts on a lot of my records.
Wonderful.
Just kind of coming in. And he's been a tremendous help. I mean, we've been knowing Kyle since he was 12 years old.
Wow.
So he's very phenomenal.
Yeah, because there's a few others I saw them. I can't remember their names. And that picture that me, you, and Camille took came up on my timeline not too long ago. And I'm like, the bear hug. And I'm like,
oh, wow.
I'm like, and that was like, so I will be coming back to Tampa. So,
oh, yeah.
To come and check out some more music. But thank you for making it in. But like I said, we're going to continue this.
I owe you like what, 20 more minutes?
25.
25 more minutes. I owe you.
But we'll do it again.
Oh yeah.
Because like I said, it was quite a few questions I had to ask.
Well,
and I don't write them down, so they cycle, in my head.
Well, I can tell you this. I'm very excited about being in the D. We had a great show at Shane Park, Aretha Franklin Theater. With the Najee and friends, and I know I'll be coming back to Detroit very soon because we're also working out details for a show at Baker's.
Awesome.
So I want you. Hopefully, I can get you to get involved in that.
Yeah, just keep me posted as long as I'm here breathing.
So
I got you.
But Cola Lounge is where it's at.
Cola Lounge tomorrow night, 8:00. Can you get tickets at the door?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
you can get them at the door.
We do admonish to get those tickets online. Last time we did Cola, it was packed out. It was hard to find a seat.
Yes.
So
and a parking space.
Yeah, and a parking space. So definitely try to get there.
So if you come in, show up early. You know, get ready, because when Nathan and his dudes play, just wear something comfortable. Because it's going to be hot up in there.
It's a lot of energy.
It's just going to be a lot of energy. And the food is excellent in there, too.
And you know what? And I forgot to mention, this year I was able to bring my music director with me from Florida, Darius Jamar. He's an artist as well, but it's gonna be nice watching him give direction to the band and just giving letting everybody know what we're doing.
Right. Everybody, I'm looking forward to the show, and so should you. This is your girl Dawn Elizabeth on Jazz Cats on Wjzz Cool TV. Thank you for tuning in, and look for part two. Part two with Mr. Mitchell. Peace.